We're going to review the freeandclear.com interest-only mortgage acceleration calculator, which is a mortgage calculator that illustrates how applying mortgage acceleration or paying more than your required monthly payment can reduce your total interest expense during the interest-only period of the loan and lower your principal mortgage balance at the end of the interest-only period. To find the interest-only mortgage acceleration calculator, simply click on the Mortgage Calculators tab on the top left of any page on freeandclear.com, and that will take you to a page that lists all of the calculators available on Free and Clear. The interest-only mortgage acceleration calculator is located on the right side of the page under Mortgage Acceleration Calculators. If you click on the triangle to the right of the calculator, it reveals a brief description of the calculator. I'm going to click on the calculator title, which will take us to the calculator page. I'm going to briefly review mortgage acceleration for an interest-only mortgage before I walk through the calculator step by step. Simply put, accelerating or overpaying your monthly mortgage payment means paying more than the required amount. For example, if your scheduled monthly mortgage payment is $1,800, you pay an extra $200 per month and make a monthly payment of $2,000. With an interest-only mortgage, acceleration enables the borrower to reduce the required monthly mortgage payment during the initial interest-only fixed rate period, because when the borrower overpays his or her mortgage during the interest-only period, the overpayment reduces the principal balance of the mortgage. The lower your principal mortgage balance, the lower your interest expense, the lower the required monthly mortgage payment. So applying mortgage acceleration to an interest-only mortgage and reducing the principal balance allows you to lower your required monthly mortgage payment during the interest-only period and also offsets the potential increase in your monthly mortgage payment when the mortgage converts into an adjustable rate mortgage at the end of the interest-only period. I'm going to walk through the calculator now. As you can see from the way the page is laid out, the inputs to the calculator are on the left side of the page, and the outputs to the calculator are on the right side of the page. The inputs are the information that you provide or select, and the outputs are provided by the calculator after you click the calculate button. It's important to highlight that if you ever have a question about an input, simply hover your cursor over the icon to the left of any input rectangle, and it reveals a brief description of the input and the information required. The first input is mortgage amount. This is the original amount of your mortgage. I'm going to use $300,000 in this example. The next input is interest-only period interest rate. This is the interest rate you pay during the initial fixed rate interest-only period of your mortgage, which is typically for 3, 5, 7, or 10 years. So the starting interest rate for your loan. If you click on the drop-down menu, it reveals a wide range of interest rate options, and I'm going to select 4% in this example. The next input is interest-only period, or the length of the initial period for an interest-only mortgage during which you are only required to pay interest and the interest rate is fixed. Again, the interest-only period is typically for 3, 5, 7, or 10 years. If you click on the drop-down menu, it reveals a range of options, and I'm going to select 7 years. The next input is mortgage start date. This is the date of your initial payment on your mortgage. If you click your cursor in the input rectangle, it reveals a calendar. And please note that the calendar allows you to select past dates if you're looking at an acceleration for an existing mortgage. So in this case, I'm going to say that the start date for our mortgage was March 1st, 2012. The next input is overpayment start date. This is the date when you start overpaying or accelerating your mortgage. I'm going to select March 1st, 2014 in this example. So we're 2 years into our mortgage. The next input is overpayment type. If you click on the drop-down menu, it shows 2 options. The first option is fixed monthly, which means you plan on making the same monthly mortgage payment, including your overpayment, during the period in which you are accelerating your mortgage. So even though your required mortgage payment goes down every month, you continue to make the same monthly mortgage payment, so your amount of overpayment and level of acceleration goes up every month. The second option is fixed amount, which means you're overpaying your mortgage by a fixed amount, say $150 per monthly payment during the acceleration period. If you use the fixed amount method, it means that the mortgage payment you make, including your overpayment, will go down a little every month. I'm going to select fixed amount. The final input is monthly overpayment amount. I'm going to input $200. So we're going to accelerate our mortgage by $200 per month. We've submitted all of our inputs, and I'm going to click on the Calculate button, which will produce our outputs. The first 3 outputs look at the mortgage with no acceleration, so provide a baseline for what the key mortgage outputs would be if we did not overpay our loan. The first output is the estimated monthly mortgage payment during the interest-only period, which is based on our mortgage amount, our interest rate, and the length of our interest-only period. This is our required scheduled mortgage payment during the first 7 years of the mortgage. The next output is total interest expense during the initial interest-only period of the mortgage. Because we are only required to pay interest during the initial period, this figure is basically the sum of all of our mortgage payments during the first 7 years of the mortgage in this case. The next output is the mortgage balance at the end of the interest-only period. And as you can see, this figure matches our initial loan amount that we inputted because we have not paid down any principal during the initial 7 years of the mortgage. The next set of outputs show the mortgage with acceleration. First, we show the average estimated monthly mortgage payment, including the amount of overpayment, during the interest-only period. So this is the average actual mortgage payment you make using mortgage acceleration during the initial period of the loan. The next output is total interest expense over the initial interest-only period with acceleration. So if you compare this figure with total interest expense during the initial interest-only period without acceleration, you can see that we save over $1,000 in total interest expense. Next, we have the mortgage balance at the end of the interest-only period with acceleration. And as you can see, we have reduced our mortgage balance by $12,000 in this example. This will help the borrower offset a potential increase in mortgage payment when the mortgage converts into an adjustable rate mortgage at the end of the interest-only period. It's important to highlight that you can change the calculator inputs without having to refresh the page. So if I change our monthly overpayment type to fixed monthly, and I change our monthly payment to $1,200 and click the calculate button, the outputs are updated automatically without having to refresh the page. After you have reviewed the calculator scenarios that apply to you, you can click on the Compare Lenders button at the bottom of the outputs and review a table with interest rates and fees for lenders in your area. If you have any questions about the free and clear interest-only mortgage acceleration calculator or any other mortgage topic, you can always click on the Ask an Expert button at the top of any page, and it will take you to our Ask the Expert feature where you can submit your question. The feature is free to use and we never spam. We also encourage you to check out the free and clear mortgage acceleration section to review an in-depth discussion of how mortgage acceleration works and how you can use it to save thousands of dollars, and our overview of interest-only mortgages in our mortgage program section. Thank you for reviewing the freeandclear.com interest-only mortgage acceleration calculator.